Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
It's 2025 and I'm ready. I hope you are too. We're about to take a look back at this week and some of the previous week at some of the comics, movies, shows, whatever, especially some news. But we're going to get into it as well as do the monthly Legion Loot giveaway tonight and look at next month's big Legion Loot. And I'm really excited for the January Legion Loot for reasons we'll get into, some aquatic reasons. But let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Sure to hit the description. We got links down there for fantastic resources such as Big Time Collectibles, Justin Comics cleaning, pressing, and submission services, as well as ABX Comics and Games. If you need a local comic shop and you don't have one, hit up ABX Comics and Games. They can be your long-distance comic shop. They are the community's comic shop.
Yes, they are.
They really are. Really are. Fantastic folks over at ABX Comics and Games. Remember, if you run your order up to $100, it's free shipping. Free shipping on $100.
Nice.
Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Paul, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Happy 2025 to you.
Thank you. To you as well and everybody watching. What did you do for New Year's?
I did the best thing that could get my 2025 off to a good start. I was asleep.
I was about to say go to bed early. So I buy some fireworks to shoot off with the kids, you know. There's some, like 4th of July, I go over to my brother's house where it's the big to do and everything. But for New Year's, I've kind of gotten to just because kind of routine. It kind of happened organically. I just buy some of the fireworks, no mortars or nothing, but the stuff you set on the ground and it just stays on the ground, but sparkles, pops, and does all kinds of fun stuff. I actually prefer those because they're right there in your face. And it's like when you see one pop in the sky, but it just doesn't stop for a while. I like those a lot. But then we did that for a couple of years because Kyle will end up working the evening shift. So I'll shoot some fireworks with the kids, wait on her to get home, and we'll shoot the rest of them off. And the past couple of years, Pops would come over and hang out for a little bit. Then this year, a mom wanted to make hot dogs and hamburgers, so she came over and did that. So I didn't have to worry about making dinner. Nice. And then Pops came over, my stepmom came over, my step cousin came over. So it was kind of like a small little get together. It was a good time.
Very nice.
But
holidays are all about family.
Yeah, and I was kind of feeling a little under the weather, so I went to bed early, but couldn't get to sleep. So I got back up to do the ball drop thing with the wife and kids. But it was a good New Year. I like the idea of bed early. Let's say hey to some of the folks in the chat real quick. Good morning to Las Cruces. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. The adventurous one, Joseph Michael. Welcome to the madhouse that is at Week's End. What is going on? Anachronic Comics in the building. Dope, my man. Hope you're doing good today. Ruby G, White Tiger, Cool Common Collected. Don't forget to hit Ruby G up on the Instagram for commission work, covers, and everything. Phenomenal artist. Pop's Attic. There he is. What's going on, Pop? I'm here to show my support of ending the week. Yeah, whether you're here or not, you got to do it. You might as well be here. There's those custom emojis. You get access to those by joining the channel membership, which will be drawing for the channel membership prize pack tonight. What is going on, Digger Jim?
Hello. I don't know if he sold them yet, but you've had some kind of eclectic type of comics on Pop's Attic. Like you had all sorts of Eclipse comics around there today or yesterday.
Yeah, what Jolt, that random.
So, yeah.
Yeah. There's been a wide variety from the stuff Pop's posting, and I bought a small collection recently. I should have done like a video on it. I videoed going to the storage unit and going through the storage unit and getting and all the books and all that, but I didn't. And I just I don't even think I kept anything out of it. It all just went on Pop's Attic. It was a buddy of mine who was trying to close out a storage unit. And he hadn't been in it in years, and like some 80s stuff and 90s stuff. There's some cool stuff in there. A lot of that's been going up lately as well.
Is that where the Star Trek came from?
Yeah, there's also a stack of like DC Universes like this high, the DC Universe logo variants. But a local came through and checked out some of the stuff before it all got posted and cherry picked a bunch of those out. He's a Superman fan. It seems like Superman fans are always the first people to know about the importance of the DCU variants. probably, and I credit that to Doomsday's appearance, the wedding issue. There's a lot of like 90s Superman keys that with that variant, it actually gives them some value where 90s stuff typically doesn't have any.
Yeah, because not every DC Universe logo necessarily spikes the value.
Yeah,
Specific ones.
yeah, that's what we were looking at with some of the Batman ones. A lot of them it's just like $1 difference, but there was one that was like a $15 book.
Oh wow!
Because it was like it wasn't the return of her proper, but it was a Batgirl on her 2 feet kind of deal in a time era when she couldn't do that. By aquatic reasons, he means it's all Aquaman related. Absolutely. We're giving away the first appearance of Ocean Master for January. Yeah. What's going on? I have comic issues. What's up? Tate Prime is in the building. Megatron, what is going on, homie? Good to see you. Angel Rivera, hello. Stephen with a C is in the building. What's up, homie? Blue Hellion comments. Hello to you. Cap's here, Random Rips. Hey, Bleaker, what's going on, homie? Hope you're doing good tonight. DVH is in the building. I just completed my Absolute Trinity #1 cover A's this week. Nice. There's actually an Absolute Superman #1 in tonight's Legion loot. The black and white foil virgin. Yeah, that's a sexy look. That's just a nice cover. But me and Paul just got done recording the DC Deep Dive for
Absolute Superman #3.
game-changing issue.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on my channel. Don't miss it.
Yeah, game-changing issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're saying my Death of Superman is worthless? Damn it. Man, I was showing Pops on New Year's Eve. I've got a stack of Superman 75s over here, and I was showing him the subsequent printings for Man of Steel 18, for Superman 75, all that stuff. When they did all those subsequent printings, like up to 5th prints, 4th prints and stuff, they did something really cool where the trade dresses are all different colors. Like, and you don't know unless you know, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, like the DC Bullet is different colors.
I don't know about the Bullet. I don't even think I looked at that. I always have these laying around. No, the Bullet looks the same, but like here's like what is this? This is a first print. This is a second print and a third print. The Bullet's the same, but the actual trade dresses are different.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing for Man of Steel when those are all first prints. But yeah, they did the same thing for Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave away some of my other prints on accident. You always
have a lot of those.
Always have a lot of those just laying around.
You're going to corner the markets in Man of Steel and Turox.
Hey, Turok is on the 2025 goal list, and I would be lying to you if I said I haven't bought more Turoks in 2025 already. When I made that video, it reminded me how I like finding them in the wild, but when it comes to eBay, I check every now and then if there's like lots of them, because people will buy collections and they'll pull them all out and sell them in lots. So I bought a couple of lots.
I know there was a guy who was selling a whole bunch of them. Like
eBay?
On eBay, you could like click the quantity you wanted.
I don't think I saw that guy. I need to go see if he's still up there. But there was a couple of lots, 10 copies for $10. Mm-hmm. I don't mind paying $1 a piece for them, kind of thing. And
these were more expensive. These were like $10 a piece or something.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no. Turok costs $1.
How many are you looking
until I say otherwise? Turok costs $1.
How many are you looking to acquire? Do you have a number in mind, or do you?
So it's Paul's just spending Mark's money. So I'm sure there's plenty of people out there with impressive Turok 1 collections. I have no delusion that I'm leading the parade in that. My good friend Southern Comic Geek Jason, I'm aware that he has over 300 copies. I ended 2024 with 60 something copies, not counting the slabs, just raw. So 67? I would like to
67 you said?
60 something copies, okay. Not counting the raw one, not counting the slabbed ones. I've got a #1 and a 9/8 and a gold foil and something else, but yeah, it was 60 something, probably like 64, 65 approximately. So I'd like to.
Does that include the Jurassic Park crossover?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one of the literally the most valuable Turok comic on the face of the earth. It's a one of one Jurassic Park acetate signed by Bart Sears as well as Adrian Pratt, the person who produced this one of a kind variant. This is literally the most valuable Turok comic on the planet. I can assure you that. That's what cornering the market
knows
does
from what
for
he
you.
speaks.
Yeah, that's what cornering the market does for you. I'm the only one that owns one. So I promise you, it's the most expensive. I'm still looking for the acetate variant. No, that's right. Yeah, everyone is. What's going on, Izzy? But yeah, it's just fun. It's like I pointed out, the whole purpose behind it is something fun that you can always be on the lookout for, something you can always search for. I'm not always in a mood to spend a lot of money, like, you got kids, you got stuff going on, but it's always fun to hunt for comics. If you always have something like that, and everyone has their own, well, a lot of people do. For some people, it's McFarlane's Spider-Man 1, or it's Jim Lee's X-Men, or it's Superman 75, which that's really not a dollar book, but you can get it for $5 or so. It's fun when there's always a book that you're happy to have multiples of, because it's just something to chase. You get to participate in comic hunting with your friends. They can be buying, looking at wall books, this and that, but you're just endlessly looking at an ocean of comics and bins, and never stops being fun. Sadly, there's no cure for Turok buying disorder, but with therapy, one can still live a full life.
Right.
I have a Turok 1 in one of my mystery boxes. Boom, there you go. That's a win automatically. Hey, happy Sunday to you too, Corbin. Good to see you in here. Just in case no one saw it, all 4 seasons of Superman and Lois are now on Max. Yeah. So if you haven't seen that final season, now it's time. Yeah, there you go. There's another good one. Mine was Darkhawk, but the internet ruined it. Yeah, legitimately. Just because it was like out of a joke, Darkhawk became a more valuable book. It went from being $1 to being like a $20, $30 book for number 1 now. Just because it's one of those, you got to be able to say you have it.
Exactly.
What's another one? Sleepwalker number 1. That one needs more love. You can probably still get that. Warlock Chronicles 1 for Izzy. Now, isn't that that's a foil one too, isn't it? Or Prism Effect chromium cover?
I'm not sure.
I think that's one of the, like, this white Prism foil cover one, if I'm not mistaken. That's a cool one. Cure Turok buying disorder today. Yeah. Well, last week we spent the entire episode kind of looking back at 2024 as a whole, giving our top hit list, which means we didn't talk about any of the stuff that came out that week. So we have last week and this week to talk about, and we're going to get into some of it, just have some fun, just chit-chatting about Creature Commandos. We had the finale of Dune take place. We had some cool books come out, especially last week. And the Ghost Machine stuff like exploded, if you're keeping up with Ghost Machine. But where would you like to start tonight, Paul?
You want to start with the TV stuff?
Let's do it. What are we starting with?
We have 2 Creature Commandos, right?
Let's do it. Yeah, so we had the episode spotlighting Dr. Phosphorus in this one, and who did we have in the one before that? We didn't have any.
Frankenstein for the most part.
I guess so, but we didn't have any flashback stuff in that one, did we? That was all just forward moving plot.
Yeah. Yep.
The whole show is kind of formatted in like the whole dual storytelling. You got a flashback happening, and then you have the present plot moving forward. And one episode we got.
Well, there was some flashbacks. There was some flashbacks to when he was in the cabin in the woods. Right?
Oh, yeah, where he killed the old lady at the end.
Where he killed the old lady, so.
That is right, yeah. In this week's episode with the Dr. Phosphorus stuff, we really didn't get any forward-moving plot. They were all just kind of just reassembling from the previous episode being separated.
Correct, with the big thing being that we got a very shadowed vision of Batman.
Yeah, that kind of took over the internet, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like you can't see anything. It's like he looks like every other Batman you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just waiting on the lightning bolt to strike to illuminate him. But yeah, they what was crazy is I felt like I was having deja vu because the internet went crazy saying we have our first look at Batman in the DCU. I feel like we did that same thing with episode 1 when they were all on the spikes. Like our first look at Batman. Just a silhouetted Batman. I did see James Gunn talk about it a little bit where he did request that the animators silhouette him more so that they wouldn't have to commit to any kind of suit design or anything yet. People speculating on his bulkiness kind of ignited a lot more talks of get Alan Ritchson as Batman, and those old video clips of him saying that he would love to play the part recirculated and stuff. I think he would be he's a good build for it for sure.
Yeah. And we got our first look at Clayface.
All that fight with him and Rick Flag, that was intense.
Yep. And then in the Dr. Phosphorus one, he ended up looking like the Joker from The Killing Joke. With when he was dancing with all the people in his, I'm guessing in his gang or whatever.
Weird. Yeah, that was his whole little kill mission was a little weird.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff seems very indulgent of the writers. It gets, I don't know, I'm enjoying it, but it's easy to like see where some like anyone critical of this show, they could tear it apart if they wanted to. Like, and it'd be so easy to tear apart.
Yeah, but this week is the season finale,
and we're supposed to be getting Nina's backstory, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
creature chick. So yeah, there's still you got the creature commandos attempting to go take out the princess. You got Rick Flag taken off the table. He's in a hospital. He was almost killed, like broken back and busted up internal organs. And I don't know who's gonna. Maybe when whatever kind of healing whatever happens to him, his hair will turn black and match what he looks like in the live action films. We'll see what happens.
He'll do a reverse Hal Jordan.
Exactly. He'll free himself of parallax and he'll be back. Yeah. I did like how much Dr. Phosphorus was spotlighted in these 2 episodes, though, because he had that really cool fight with Rick Flag early on. He had that little, it was only like a 10-second moment when they were getting attacked in the streets and they all separated and were fighting when the tank was coming at him, and he took his jacket off and screamed, and you see him really charged up. He just put both middle fingers out and the tank just drove him. He just melted it like a hot knife through butter.
And you could see through their heads.
Yeah, sniping the middle finger in both of their heads. It was definitely funny. There's some memorable moments in those 2 episodes. His origin story was super tragic. We got introduced to Rupert Thorne in the DCU, and we said goodbye to Rupert Thorne in the DCU after he violently killed his wife and child. And then, like, that's where it got a little indulgent, like having the goon sit there and wipe it, like hold his arms and wipe it all over their dead bodies and all that. And like, he wants the show to be R-rated, so he's like, really reminding you, we're trying to make it R-rated. And none of it seems really shocking to me. I'm just like, almost like, why? It kind of comes off as cringe to me. I mean, everyone's mileage will vary. I've seen a lot of stuff. I think I'm past being shocked by too many things in movies, like Turn on Terrifier or Serbian film. That's shocking. But in terms of this,
and not every episode necessarily needs to be R-rated. I mean, we've seen plenty of people's, intestines, all over the ground in this series. So
yeah, it seems like bullets don't create holes; they just blow you to bits.
Right.
But who knows where it's going to end? I don't really see. I hope a lot of people are not expecting too much from the finale, not as an episode, but as a springboard to what comes next. It's been renewed for a 2nd season, so if it springboards to anything, I would assume it kind of tees you off to the next season of itself, like most television shows do, where in the MCU you'd expect some kind of cliffhanger teaser for the upcoming next project. I don't believe that's what we're doing with the DCU. I think that's been announced.
And he kind of said that even though this was the first thing in the new DCU, really the story is kicking off in Superman.
Yeah. And they also talk numerous times in interviews about how everything's supposed to stand on its own, and one project should not be contingent on another project. They're clearly in the same universe. When we bring something over, you'll know because you'll see it on the screen, kind of thing. I really like that angle. There's been talk of that from DC fans for years now with the DCEU stuff, saying like, just make a good movie, let it stand on its own, let it perform well. So hopefully that's how it works out. Definitely excited to see what happens with Superman. I've got a lot of nerves about it. I'm not losing sleep at night, luckily, but I'm ready to see what happens with this DCU proper. Be interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it's a massive hit. Between now and that movie coming out, we have a full trailer that we're waiting on, but we also have the McFarlane toys. I know that's not a big deal for everybody, but for me, I collect the movie figures to begin with. But that's like when I really get hyped up because the timeline of those figures coming out will be ahead of the movie, and you get to pre-order them, and you get good detailed looks at characters and the suits and everything, and Metamorpho's on that list, and that's the one character that we really haven't seen anything
just
of.
a shot of his head, and that was it.
A close up, and we were able to tell from his shoulders that
Right.
you can expect the different textured, segmented body, the different colors. But I really want to see how that character looks, that figure looks, what kind of accessories comes with it, because that'll give us a hint to what we'll be doing with him in the movie. That's a character that you can get ridiculous really fast, but in a really good way if you want to. And with his power set, like that, he's like an alpha level character with being able to manipulate at a whim, like the periodic table like that. That's like a big deal. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with him to kind of make him not be overpowered in this movie. I wonder what his character will be, because he's kind of a jokester, he's kind of a goober.
Yeah, he kind of is. And I mean, and even like if you even go to his even just his current, the new series that just came out.
So
it's
good.
Very much, yeah, but it's very much like 50s type camp thing. It's like, so they're playing him that way in the comics as well.
And that's funny because even when he cameoed, because he hasn't had his own series in so long, and even when he'd pop up in something else, he would just be like the building in the corner kind of thing. He's almost like Plastic Man.
Exactly. He was. Oh, did you spot Plastic Man as the chair and on page 3?
Yeah, exactly. But I think that works good for when you have a character like Plastic Man. Like he's overpowered now, like in a good way, but he comes with so much baggage. It helps balance his character. Don't expect him to do too much. Same thing with Metamorpho. I think in that sense, they found a good way to offset that kind of stuff. If he was out there with Superman's mindset, the Earth would be a very safe place, but he can't, he's not Superman. He can't do that.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, we were talking about TV shows, but if you're talking about movies too, the big news over the past 2 weeks was exactly
Zombie Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa is official. He's in the DCU as none other than Lobo. He'll be appearing in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited that Jason Momoa remains. I enjoy him as an actor. He's just fun. He's one of those people that are just fun to watch him act, at least for me.
Yeah. And Tom King said that in the original pitch for the comic Supergirl, Lobo was in there, and they made him take him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why, but I did see some people talking online about like how does this, why is Lobo in a Supergirl movie and da 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 da. Most people online don't read these stories that these things are being adapted from. And Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is a phenomenal book. It was Tom King's best book of that year. Some people could argue Human Target, but I would definitely say Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow was. But he fits into it. It's literally about Supergirl taking young Ruthie under her wing on a quest for vengeance against a cosmic criminal on the run. So Lobo literally, what do? I travel the cosmos chasing down criminals on the run. So he fits in there perfectly. So I think that's going to be awesome. And expect to see him in other projects. Early on with the Superman Legacy announcements, we were all talking about Lobo then. Jason Momoa posted that thing on his IG. When I went back and looked, it's not there anymore. But he was literally outside by a pool, outside of his house or somewhere, on the phone with James Gunn and Peter Safran. This was like around the time of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom releasing. He was on the phone with them, talking about how he's on the phone with them and couldn't talk about it. Momoa was known for over a year now, because that was December 2023 with Aquaman. So he's known, and we were talking about it then, and then it kind of just fades away. And now that we're here, now that we're in the month when Supergirl is about to start filming, Supergirl's starting to film this month.
Right.
And you announce that he's Lobo, and then he's got a script. Like, he's had that script for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, an actor like Jason Momoa, or most well-known actors, can't just agree to do a film today, and oh, by the way, I'll be on the set tomorrow, type of
Yeah,
a thing.
that's not a thing.
They need to work through with their agents and all. They need to plan and schedule all of their movies that they're going to do, and
I'm totally fine with them playing both Aquaman and Lobo. They can be in the same movie, Eddie Murphy style, for all I care. I just want both. Yeah, and man, I would be ridiculously happy if he remained as Aquaman. But when it comes to like wanting the universe to work, it's got to work for a general audience. And when it comes to Momoa as Lobo, all you got to do is put him in the outfit and paint him. That's it.
yeah,
And when it comes to him as Aquaman, all you got to do is put the suit on him. Like, so I think that it's too similar. I would like to see like a Patrick Wilson style Aquaman in the DCU. I hope it's not a character that gets forgotten because we've done him before, kind of thing. And like, it'd be crazy if like we had Aquaman movies when we didn't have Aquaman comics.
right.
Now we have Aquaman comics when we don't get Aquaman movies. So either way, at least there's Aquaman stuff out there. But for the DCU, it would be cool. Like, go get Alan. Alan's played him. Alan Richards played him. He was the first
Played him in
live action
Smallville.
Aquaman. Yeah, he did a great job, and he's older now. He's bigger now. He would be great for Aquaman. He looks like Aquaman. He's got the blonde hair. So I think you could go that way with him. Now, there's really no wrong. Zack Snyder showed there's really no wrong way to go with Aquaman because he made the whole like Islander Polynesian take on him. That worked so well. Everyone's like, he's not blonde hair. I'm like, no, he's not. They went a different direction with it, but he was a great Aquaman. They adapted some really cool stories that they pulled from the Jeff Johns years. Visually, the Aquaman movie, the first one especially, is like my favorite visually DCU movie. I love that movie so much.
The guy who stars in Tracker played him in the test
Entourage?
pilot.
Oh, the
No.
test. Oh no, it was Green Arrow that
Oh,
played
it's
him.
Green
in the
Arrow.
test
He
pilot.
stars in
Dustin
Tracker.
Hartley.
He stars as Tracker now.
I'm not sure
It's
what
in the-
Tracker is.
It's a show on CBS, but yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's why.
He played
I don't have
Green
the
Arrow
clock.
on Smallville. Yeah,
Nice. But yeah, that had Lou Diamond Phillips in it as
Yep.
well. Yeah. If you've never seen the pilot for the Aquaman TV show, you can buy the film Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. Now you have to make sure you check because the standard DVD did not have it. But if you bought the special edition 2-disc DVD, and it's 2025, so the Blu-ray, if you buy the Blu-ray or better, in the special features is a feature-length film, live action of Aquaman. There was a TV test pilot. Definitely worth your time.
they included it way back when they were Smallville was still on. They included it as a separate disc inside one of the season collections.
Yeah, House of L is there too. Aquaman needs to be the blonde hair, blue eye this time. Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to go with it. Definitely. But God, just thinking about it, it's going to be years before we see another Aquaman on screen. Years. Unless, never say never. Who knows what's going to come between now and when and what character. And because we're doing such an established universe, we're kicking it off with characters like Metamorpho, and we got Hawk Girl in there, Guy Gardner. So who knows, he could pop up in some other project. Maybe John and Hal in their investigation, I guess we got to go down to Atlantis, and they just blow our minds and surprise us with Atlantis.
He has said that it's. Although they're intergalactic, he said it's going to be very much a terrestrial type of a show. So it's going to be set on Earth for the most part. So you could.
It would be the perfect introduction, Paul.
What?
We're doing the television show, The Amazons, which isn't that what it's called? Just The Amazons?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
So our first Themyscira Wonder Woman-esque solo project is an HBO Max show. It's supposed to take place at the earliest timeline that we'll have seen at that point. It'll be going back to early days of Themyscira. That's a shoo-in for Atlantis. Well, what are they going to be fighting? Like the Greek gods? Well, let's do something different.
If you do it, do the Flashpoint.
Just have them war with the Atlanteans.
Exactly.
How dope would that be? Fun fact, Aquaman prefers his hot dog with ketchup only. Wasn't that in the Jeff Johns run as well?
It might have been.
Booster Gold needs to be a beach boy too. Yeah,
That's another one that supposedly
we
supposedly, I can't think of the guy's name now, but supposedly he was also cast as well, and we haven't heard anything. That's been months now since that rumor came and left.
Yeah, what is this guy's name? He's a funny actor.
Yeah,
He's a comedic relief in everything.
he was in Eternals.
Mm-hmm. I recognize him from a lot of comedy movies.
Yeah,
I got a picture of him here, but
he was
I don't know his
in
name.
Ghostbuster, Frozen, whatever, too.
Frozen sequel of trash.
Yeah.
I was so bummed out with that Ghostbuster movie. What is going on, promiscuous time traveler?
Here, cash.
Oh, you need some cash.
Yeah.
I can do that. That fine?
It's more than fun.
Is it? Whenever I hand you cash for a tip, you're always like, "That's not enough."
You have to pay your wife?
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah." No, no, we always tip in cash. We ordered some Pizza Hut, but if you're watching this, always tip in cash. If you're going to leave a tip, tip in cash. Don't leave it on a card. If you got cash, tip in cash.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, promiscuous time traveler? But yeah, Atlantis versus Themyscira. That, man, what a spectacle. Yeah, that'd be like straight Lord of the Rings style, like action and design and everything. That'd be so
absolutely.
cool. J-Man, what's going on? I hope you're okay.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hope you're okay. Yeah, we're hyped about Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Just dropped it off now.
They just left it on the ground?
It's on the porch.
That's weird. Did you accidentally hit the no contact?
I don't think so, but possibly.
You should message them back. Like, yo, these people like dropped this on our porch and left without their tip. You should definitely do that.
Remember the message.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, you just call the Columbia Road store.
Well, you can drive back for $7 and just drop it off up there in the morning.
No, you can do that too. They need to fix Adam Warlock ASAP. For my good friend Izzy's sake, I think they do too.
Yeah, I think he may be a lost cause, though.
Well, MCU lost cause hand in hand. I get the concept of starting them out young and letting them develop or whatever, but I don't know that. I don't think it worked for him. I mean, I understand the idea, but I think he should be born with like cosmic intuitiveness kind of thing. You had a cool shirt from House of L. Definitely talking to you. What's going on, TM?
Hey.
They don't tax the cash. Better for the delivery. Exactly. You get taxed enough. Let's see what else is on the hit list. Hit list.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
I watched up to episode 4, so I'm a couple of behind. The episode where they went to the planet that kind of revealed that their planet had a very similar planet and society that's gone like defunct down into war and stuff now, and they got the next little star maps to go where next kind of thing.
We found out the secret behind Adatin.
Tell me.
It is basically the treasury planet of the Old Republic. Which is why he was able to have, which is why he was able to have those old credits and everything. So that is apparently where all the money was printed. It's like the mint of the Old Republic.
Okay. That's not as fantastical as I expected it to be, but makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I enjoyed episode 2 and 3 a lot. I don't know what it was. Might have been the time I watched it or what. Episode 4 was all right. A little insufferable. I think we added another kid to that episode, that local kid on the planet that was like parkouring everywhere. I'm like, what are we doing? Thought we got past this. We're supposed to be on a pirate adventure in space. Now we're parkouring on planets with kids. I don't know. But I'll get back to it. I'll catch up. The holiday season is past. I'll be able to be on time with stuff.
Jude Law has turned on the kids, and now
Shocker.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't worry, his heart will grow by the end of it, and it'll help him, and they'll all go away happy. Did you hear that characters from the Skeleton Crew are slated to appear in Dave Filoni's Mandalorian movie?
Yes. Which I'm not surprised because they're one of the producers of this show, as opposed to I don't think they were as part of the Acolyte. But Favreau and Filoni are part of one of the producers of this show. So yeah, so we had Jude
Well, if we're
Law.
lucky, we'll never see anybody from the Acolyte ever again, like ever.
Yep, Jude Law took the old I challenged the captain, and then basically he took on like the a 12-year-old girl to become the new captain, and
But it was
so
a close fight.
33 basically then sided with him, of course, because that's what he does. That's his programming. Um, and all 4 kids then basically dropped out of wherever they were and ended up on this ice planet. And Jude Law is now back with. He has just been captured by the people from the very first episode. What was it, the first episode? Maybe the second episode, where all of the pirate people were in that docking station, whatever. They have him again, and he's trying to convince him to go back so he can get them all this gold and everything. And that's kind of where we left things, if I recall.
What do you think of this theory?
My basic answer is that the scene in the beginning was actually the end. Could be. I don't know.
Watch me get banned from another channel yesterday. I can't imagine why.
Nice.
What channel was it, AR?
Hey, AR, did you also see that Lego has developed an agreement with Star Trek to do Lego Star Trek? So we'll be looking forward to those the next time you're on.
Doing little movies, or are they doing games? What are they doing?
No, doing 5,000-piece sets and things like that. It's not going to be probably to the end of the year, so I doubt he probably wouldn't have them by then. But I believe the first thing they're going to do is, I want to say, is Enterprise D, AR. Is that right? I think is the first thing that they're going to do. But yeah, they just announced that like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever. This is the first time Star Trek has made an agreement with Lego.
And we're getting closer to that movie releasing as well now, too.
24th, Section 31.
So this month.
Yes. Yep.
What other Star Trek stuff is currently happening or still running?
That's it. Then the next after that will probably be Season 3 of Strange New Worlds. They are currently filming Starfleet Academy. So that
What is that one? That's a brand new one, right?
That's a brand new one that's set in the Discovery world. So it's set in the future, far in the future. And then there is a Season 4 that'll start filming for Strange New Worlds as well. That's already been renewed for Season 4. Yeah, not as much stuff, and there's probably going to be a long wait between Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 and anything after that. Unless they push Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 way off to the end of the year. But I can't imagine they will, because, I mean, the only thing that's ready to go right now is Star Trek Strange New World Season 3 and Section 31, and that's, like I said, the end of the month, so... So yeah, it'll be slim pickings for Star Wars. I mean, I think they're still trying to figure out exactly what's happening with all the Skydance Paramount merger type thing.
Gotcha. Who is Comics Pals? Comics Pals.
I don't know.
Comics Pals. Apparently they banned AR. It's hilarious. I guess they didn't get his humor.
Mm.
Comics Pals. It's a podcast. I've never heard of these folks. I'm gonna check some of that out. Go on now, get. All right, get back to it. Sorry, I had to get a couple bites of food in me. I'm dying over here. They do reviews weekly. I usually watch them sometimes too. Check it out. There's a comic podcast. That sucked out. All right. The big one, one of the bigger shows for this year was Dune Prophecy. I was highly anticipated that one. I feel like they delivered a really good show. Short. I think it was only 6 or 8 episodes.
Only 6 episodes.
It did get renewed for a season 2, but we got our finale to season 1 last week, and had the revelation that one of the sisters this sister's running the sisterhood the way she wants to, and damn everyone and everything else. And in my opinion, hiding behind the tenets of the sisterhood just to keep everybody else in check. But we found out that Desmond Hart was the son. It's like the first son of an Atreides and a Harkonnen, which added that extra lineage to the supercomputer that's trying to do all the match finding to get this ultimate evolved human, and kind of paved the way for Paul Atreides here. Kind of gave them the information that would ultimately lead them to matchmaking to get us to Paul Atreides. I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminded me in some ways in style of the end of House of Dragon season 2, because in both of them it's like both of them end with there's going to be a huge, shit ass war coming next season. Yeah, that was pretty wild too, because in the lore of Dune, I don't know of like a machine war 2.0. Do you? Right. No.
And that's what we learned in this. Desmond Hart has had this ability, having survived being eaten by a worm on Arrakis. He's had this ability to use like powers, for lack of a better word, like how the sisterhood, how Paul have the voice and the power of influence. He has his own little ability. We find out that it is not innate. It's not natural. It's a techno virus that's been the ability to do it has been implanted in him by thinking machines that are still out there, that obviously the machine war didn't wipe them all out. Maybe it'll be an era of like the ones who got away, the few pieces that are still out there, because we saw the thinking machine in episode 2 or whatever, the potential betrothment and everything of the houses, that small little lizard. So there's still some of them out there, not counting what the sisterhood is up to. But it's definitely opened the door for a lot of stories to be told with some of the machines, which I think would be a great idea to get some of that cool tech in there.
Yeah, and there was still, don't get me wrong, a lot. That means Mark Strong, he's gone. There's still a lot that happened. Yeah, just kind of like thematically, it kind of reminded me a little bit of House of Dragon season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really solid. And most importantly, something that I was wondering at the beginning of it, do you think we'll actually get to Arrakis, being that that's like the focal point of Dune proper? But since we're doing like stuff taking place like 10,000 years in the past, we're doing like characters you've never seen before, going to other planets and stuff. I was wondering if we would actually do Arrakis as like the main place, and that's where we end with some of the more prominent characters going to Arrakis, and they in the series there. So it looks like we'll be getting a lot of Arrakis in the next season, which I think is interesting because now we get more worms. A lot of these visions they are having, the worms aren't just simply animals, like they're cosmically linked to like the happenings that are going on in this stuff. And Nick says for the end of the series, the robots come back.
Mm-hmm. FYI, Colin Farrell just won for the Penguin.
Oh, let's go. Golden Globes are on right now. And DCU just brought home its first award. Best actor for the year.
Yep.
Boom. So we still have 2 more to go then. Best actress.
It doesn't look anything like the Penguin.
So we have best actress and best series to go. Yeah. I wanted to get best series, but yeah, Colin Farrell definitely deserved that one. So now we have 2 Jokers with Oscars and 1 Penguin with a Golden Globe. Villains. What do you know? Like
villains are always more interesting than the heroes. The people have said that for ages.
How are you going to make a Spider-Man movie with no Spider-Man? Well, they made a Joker movie with no Batman, and they made a Penguin show with no Batman. Just all in the quality of the product. That's all. How good is your story? People will tune in and they'll enjoy it. Let's go. Penguin is such a smash. It really was. It was super good. Things that I do have to get caught up on still. Dexter. I still have to get caught up on that Dexter. I don't know how many people are still. Dexter was big back in the day. Dexter. I don't know how many people still keep up with Dexter. There's a lot going on TV show wise at the end of the year, and that's one that I started and I got to get caught up with. I doubt I'll be able to get the week by week thing going with it though. Yeah, story is everything, 100%. And Silo, I did not see the episode from Friday. I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't remember when I watched them. If I watched them, last one was when Juliet went back underwater to hook up the power in Silo 17, and she came up, and Homeboy was gone, and there's blood on the ground.
There's one more after that.
God dang it! That show's so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
And Revolution is about to be going down in Juliet Silo. We've known that there's other people in Silo 17 because we've had that vantage point of people watching them a couple of other times, but no clue who they are. Jim Carrey didn't win stuff for the Riddler. There's no justice in this world. There you go. House Bell watches Dexter. They made a show without Batman in it, but still was in Batman's universe where Batman is in it. Yeah, same thing for the other stuff. Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Joker won a lot of stuff. Nominated for even more. Wasn't a Batman in that world. But he is. He is. You know, Madam Web had baby Peter Parker on the way to be born and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're in the universe. It's just all in the quality of the story. Let's see. I went and watched Nosferatu last night.
Yes.
Who made that? Robert Eggers, Nosferatu. Yeah. That was great. I'm not going to lie. That was really great. It's not an action movie. Me and Paul were talking about a little bit. I was telling him this story's been done a bunch of times. The whole Bram Stoker's Dracula thing. And this one really set itself apart in the sense with like the performance-driven aspect of it. And like you mentioned how you read that this one's more leaning into the like traditional horror style. It most definitely does. And the way I'd explain it is like the audience isn't the primary target for the horror, for the terror that ensues in this. It's the other characters in the movie. Like when this director isn't trying to jump scare you or this or that, you're having to live with and experience this dread and terror of these characters in that world. It doesn't feel meta at all, which I thought was a really, really smart way to approach this. Because again, it's been done before. The original Nosferatu, Bram Stoker's that Francis Ford Coppola did, countless Hammer films, the Bela Lugosi one, which is its own thing, but it was fantastic. The visuals, of course, it's very artistic, very artsy, but very, very well done. What's his name? Bill Skarsgård. Mm-hmm. The performance as Orlok was an absolute 10 out of 10, and everyone brought their A game. If you like Aaron Taylor Johnson, he brings his A game in this. And so you had Craven and Lex Luthor fighting It the Clown with all for the sake of House of Green. There was a lot of familiar faces, and the actress.
And wasn't the Green Goblin in it as well?
Yeah, Green Goblin was there. Yeah, he was definitely there. Yeah, he was fantastic. LaFrance. It was really good. Oh, I agree with Mark again. Sell your stock, everyone. Sled says Nosferatu was good. Watched it last night as well. Yeah. It was. I really enjoyed it. So last night, my mom wanted the kids to hang out with her before they go back to school. Kyle was working late, and she doesn't do horror movies. And I saw a post on Instagram where somebody took a selfie sitting in the Regal saying, about to watch Nosferatu. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to see when the next show is in. It's like a show starting 30 minutes later after I got off work. So I went and saw it. It was great. Definitely recommend it. Recommend the theater experience for it as well. That'll really elevate it for you.
Krista Milioti didn't win for Penguin.
Who did?
Jodie Foster won for True Detective.
That's fair. HBO takes it home, though.
Yeah.
It's not just TV.
It's
HBO. Oh, man. It reminded me of Woman in Black. More of an old school horror movie. It did. It most definitely felt like an old school horror movie. And I love the way like any kind of night sequences might as well been shot in black and white, just because like
Oh,
the
wow.
way that he was manipulating color and stuff. It was well done. Very, very well done. Let's see. Speaking of television shows that won't be winning any awards and movies, here's the slate for 2025 for Marvel.
Wow.
In order, January, we have a Spider-Man animated origin TV show. February, Captain America Brave New World. March, Daredevil. So on. Thunderbolts, Ironheart, Fantastic Four. So we've got 1, 2, 3 theatrical releases, 2 live action D plus shows, and 3 animated ones there. So you remember last year? I know it was a long time ago, but last year,
Mm-hmm.
2024. Remember how Disney's like, yo, we're messing up big time. We're gonna pull back on the content and focus on quality.
Mm-hmm. But they did say that it would not be. It would start in 2026 because you already had too much that was already committed to 2025. And
Yeah,
this is
imagine
just
if they pumped the brakes on this stuff and fine tuned it. You know, that's a
yeah.
lot of money they already got in this. What if the 9 projects here that can potentially damage your brand further between you and common sense?
Right.
Between you and quality products, you have 9 bullets to take.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Out of these, are there any of these that you're looking forward to?
Definitely Captain America. Definitely Daredevil. Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts a little bit.
I'm about there with you. I'm skipping Spider-Man. Couldn't care less. When I saw Tom Holland Spider-Man, wanting to see his origin story wasn't even a thought in my mind. Never has been. The animation on this looks goofy and weird. I'm hard pass on that. Captain America Brave New World, I'm going in like I'm going in for Craven. I'm expecting a turd and I'm expecting to have fun watching Falcon fly around with that shield being Captain America, doing some cool stuff. Getting to see Red Hulk is exciting for me. So give me the crappiest movie you can and just let me see those things. And that's all I want is just to see those things. I can tell from the trailer, those things look cool. So I'm going in with low expectations, expecting crap. And if you give me crap, I'll have fun watching it. So I'm trying to go in like a win-win scenario. Daredevil, I got high expectations for. I think that it's in good hands once they fired all the people associated with making it and started from scratch. Thunderbolts, I think it's just more of the same, over campy, goofy. Everything's a joke, garbage, but we'll see. Maybe the Century will be cool. Fantastic Four, for whatever reason, I couldn't care less. I think when we get the trailer and I get to see Galactus, I think just the presence of Galactus will be cool. Just like the presence of the Celestials and Eternals is cool. Giant cosmic beings is just cool. I think it's just cool. So it's hard to mess up with that. The animated stuff, it can all kick rocks. Ironheart, nobody
I
cares.
think Ironheart they have to release before the expiration date comes.
Yeah, it's going bad sitting on the shelf, ain't it? That was supposed to come out before Wakanda Forgettable.
Yeah.
Originally slated before Wakanda Forgettable.
Although, did you see it was? I was reading something. It was 15 years ago that Marvel bought Disney. Sorry, that Disney bought Marvel.
Yeah.
For $4 billion. It's now valued at $50 billion.
Nice.
It makes up almost 1/5 of all of Disney's market value.
It's a big brand. That Infinity Saga did them wonders. Watch Wild Robot today was just as well done as the book. Kids loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed Wild Robot. We've watched that a handful of times now. I have no clue what Eyes of Wakanda is going to be about, but they also gave the official announcement about Denzel being in the next Black Panther film. I guess Shuri is returning as Black Panther. I don't know what they'll do if they're on a time jump and raise little baby T'Challa.
Yeah, and they also announced, well, they didn't announce, but apparently it was leaked or something that Daredevil is going to be in the Avengers movie. And I'm like, I don't think anybody really ever thought that he wasn't going to be.
Like as one of the Avengers.
Yeah. Or at least, well, as Daredevil, I don't know if he'll be one of the Avengers. So
He was in Spider-Man.
yeah.
Really hope Wonder Man does well. I have a crap load of first appearance in that series. Yeah, I do that little teaser thing they did. I don't, man. I love Yahya Abdul Mateen. It's Black Manta right there, the Greatest Showman. He's a good actor, but it looked weird. It looked goofy, like they're doing this Hollywood movie set comedy thing. Like you get away from the camp. I think everyone's over campy stuff with the superheroes. You gotta shift it since everything at Marvel shares the same tone these days. They gotta shift away from it. But I mean, ugh, I don't know. That's just me. We talked about Lobo. We're about an hour in. You want to switch over to some comics? We got like 2 weeks
Sure.
worth of comics to talk about. Then we could run the giveaway, and then I'm going to watch the new episode of Landman with the wife, because we got caught up on that last night. Because holiday seasons is crazy. What are some of the notable books from the past 2 weeks really for you?
Actually, I only have this week's right here, but love me some JSA.
Yeah, that was really good. What was that issue number 3? Jeff Lemire's new run.
Yep.
Yeah, issue 2 ended with what looked like the death of Hawkman. You have the Injustice Society taking an onslaught on him. They're trying to get into the Tower of Fate. They want the Helm of Fate. They want Dr. Fate's helmet. They think that Khalid, being a youngster, this is their time, this is their shot, and they have all the hordes of hell after breaking into the tower, and the Hawkman and Hawkgirl were fighting him off, and he took a sword straight to the chest, and we assumed him dead. But this issue opens up with him tied up and being tortured by some demons that they informed him that, nah, you're not dead. We didn't let you die. We're keeping you alive so we can torture you properly. And what got me right off the bat, Paul, was he's like, I'm about to break out of these ropes, and I'll be right with you. So, and he goes and he strains like, oh no, you can't break those. Those aren't ropes. Those are the intestines of an angel. I'm like, oh my God, what? What?
And meanwhile, Khalid is proving them all right until Wildcat has a talk with them and tells them to basically, grow a pair. And
yeah, everyone's off the table at this point. You're left with Ted and a non-confident, questionably capable Khalid that have to do something here and rise the Injustice Society, get a few members in there and come at him. He goes ham and he gets him out of there. Ted's talking to him was pretty straightforward. He's like, yo, dude, like, I don't have powers. I just punch people, and not even as hard as I used to. These are my homies. I run around with Emerald Knights and speedsters, and we get it done. And we got a little bit of flash to the Infinity Inc. Jade is trying to find where the missing members are. Her and Sand, they're kind of building up this little interest between the two of them, this understanding of her not having to shoulder all this by herself as a team leader. Obsidian has a moment with Dr. Midnight where Beth discovers from doing a little bit of research that Obsidian is not who he necessarily says he is. And Obsidian catches her and looks like attacks her and takes her off the table as well. So it's pretty interesting that this run started with the JSA already crippled, spread out, handicapped, and in the middle of an attack from the Injustice Society. It's been really cool. I love the interior artist as well, like whoever this Olo Ragagui
Never
is.
pronounce his name.
Last time I tried, the furniture started floating.
Okay. You have to say it backwards.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to do that.
Like Zatanna.
No.
And we get a little one panel, in the very last panel, Kid Eternity is coming next issue.
Yeah. Yes, they got a lot of stuff going on in there. I wish more people were picking it up, talking about it and stuff. I know that Jeff Johns run, a lot of people picked it up at the beginning, and the delays really killed it. I wish more people were jumping on this one. This one's rocking and rolling. We're off to a great start with it. Notable stuff over the past 2 weeks is definitely, got to mention it, Ghost Machine. Holy potatoes, we got the most recent issue of not only Geiger, but we got the most recent issue of Redcoat. And Halo and Hornsby. I'll catch y'all up on that after we get a story out of it. But Geiger and Redcoat were both phenomenal. Geiger, we kind of get to see the fight against the would-be king, number 2, after he took out the first one in volume 1. They sent the next one, and he's prepared. He's armored up. They got more of the material that kind of null and voids Geiger's abilities. He's got a stronger suit, and they find Geiger in this little town that's hidden away from the chaos of this world. And Geiger is very aware of his abilities, his powers, is not wanting to hurt people, wanting people to get away. He doesn't want anyone to help him, this and that. He's getting his butt kicked for a minute. Nate the Knight comes in to help him out. Nate the Knight almost takes an L from Geiger because Geiger goes like, he goes redlining like Superman did, just sees red and melts everybody in the proximity, almost takes out his friend. But ultimately, it was really solid. All for the big cliffhanger to be that we get Junkyard Joe. Last page, Junkyard Joe is back. He looks like he's been sent. I don't know if he's after Geiger because we know the custodian wants President Griffin to focus on the robot, but President Griffin just wants the robot to go find Geiger. So we'll see what's going on with Junkyard Joe. You know, when we last saw him and Geiger in a book together, it'll bring tears to your eye, especially if you're familiar with the Junkyard Joe standalone story. You know, that robot's got a soul.
Right. And we have a new Geiger this week as well because they almost like double shipping it seems like, but because Gary Frank took off a couple issues, and we're promised that we're finally going to see the other Geiger. They're going to finally meet.
Yeah, ultimately this run's been about trying to find this other glowing man out there that cured himself. Oh man. You wrong for that. That show's so fun. You wrong for that. You're the first person I found that hasn't enjoyed it yet. Give it another shot. Watch episode 3. Come back next week. Tell me it was boring as well. If you don't like 1 and 2, you probably won't like 3, but highly suggest. Batman Full Moon, Steven Subic has such a gritty art style. Yeah, I picked up and read number 1. I got that wicked glow-in-the-dark cover and gave it away. But it was good. I'll probably go back and read a collected volume of it. God, I forget the name of the writer. That guy's got one of the best social media pages where he's always talking about horror stuff and everything.
Barnes. Last name is
Barnes. He's a guy that's Philadelphia. Such a good writer. Such a great storyteller. I think he does like a horror podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Rodney Barnes.
Rodney, that's it. Yeah, dude, that guy's on his game. Like he's got a phenomenal Instagram. I highly suggest everyone check it out.
Yeah, and then in Redcoat we end with the Northerner. We see the Northerner at the end of Redcoat.
Redcoat was phenomenal. We get to play with a little bit of history. One of history's first known like serial killer families. We get to see this weary traveler go to a would-be bed and breakfast only to be slain by the homeowner's family and all that stuff. And then Redcoat's the next weary traveler to show up, only it doesn't go as they planned. They kill him. They definitely kill him. They throw him down in their cellar full of dead, rotting bodies. And unfortunately for them, he wakes up in there, crawls out, and kills them all right back. And then ultimately, it was so fun. And then we see the Northerner finally, since that Ghost Machine 1-issue one-shot where we got a little glimpse of the Northerner, this Northern Civil War soldier wearing these futuristic boots, carrying a modern-day Uzi. Who is he? What's his deal? We don't know. We still don't know. And that's one of the cool things about Ghost Machine. We have so much lore, so much content. They're not rushing it. We're taking our time. We got a little cameo silhouette of him at the end of the whole Junkyard Joe Volume 1, but now we get to see him proper in a page splash. This will get classified as a cameo for people who split up the appearance differences. This is one of those long rollout kind of things. This is technically his 3rd cameo, but he's back at the wrong time kind of thing. He's not where he wants to be when he wants to be. So I'm wondering if his boots have to do with time traveling, if that's what allows him the ability to do these portals and stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully sooner than later.
The my local comic shop, Coliseum Comics, the chain, they ran a promotion when Redcoat first came out. To be drawn into a comic. You know, if you bought like all these Ghost Machine books, your name was put into a drawing, and the winner would be drawn into a comic. The father of the killing family was the winner of that contest.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no clue. Dude, I'm going to have to go back and look at it again, see who this guy is. That's pretty cool. I don't know what else came out last week. I know those were big ones. Action Comics wrapped up, didn't it? It's
yes,
Phantom
mercifully.
storyline. What?
Mercifully.
Mercifully. Yeah. Yeah, wrapped up its Phantom storyline. They got everyone back into the Phantom zone. Supergirl was able to barter a truce with the inhabitants of Kandor, who were mad at Superman for his methodology in this whole situation. And we're about to start a whole new era of Action Comics, which I am painfully excited for. Let me explain myself. We're back to the Superman Superstar era of Action Comics. Expect 3-issue story arcs with a rotating creative team. When I say rotating, come in, do a 3-issue story, leave, a whole new team come in next. They did Jason Aaron. They did, what's her name?
Joshua Williamson. They did Gail Simone.
Gail Simone. And now we're doing Inaki Miranda has the freaking interiors on Action Comics. That's fantastic. Artist behind We Live, the guy who did the Godzilla Here There Be Dragons.
Right.
Did you just rip another tooth out?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah. Hey. What's going on?
Hey,
Wow, look at that.
you just did that. Did you go to the bathroom and do it, or did you just laying in bed?
Bathroom.
Good. You Knuckles. You see too.
Tooth fairies coming in.
Someone needs
That
some
one had a
money.
big-
Someone needs some money going back to school.
Yeah, because I need a little bit of walking around money.
Exactly.
That one had a bigger root than the other one. How hard did you have to pull?
No, not that hard.
Not that hard, let me see. That's super cool.
It didn't take that long as the last.
How are you going to bite your food now? Oh, those teeth? Okay.
So sometimes I just take. Now I'm gonna put it under my pillow.
Yeah, we put it in a bag.
You can just take some celery and just stick it straight through.
Yes.
No, that's what I do. So I just take the food, put it in my mouth, and put it on the back, and then chew it.
Good idea. That's a really good idea. Oh my
But
goodness.
so we know the good part about the next Action Comics, but there's a but coming, right?
Oh yeah. The literal worst writer. If you ask me who is my least favorite comic book writer of all time, it's going to be John Ridley.
Mhm.
John Ridley is an award-winning, qualified, capable, able, phenomenal writer. But when, for whatever reason, he decided to write for DC Comics, he comes in and delivers the most biggest, terrible, flaming pieces of trash I have ever read at DC Comics. Superman Red, White, and Blue story, the other history of the DC universe, which I was hyped about, and I'm like, dude, I can't touch anything this guy touches anymore. And now he's doing Action Comics. Well, I'm going to pull Action Comics regardless. I want to see Inaki Miranda's art for sure. But why do we have to have John Ridley on here?
And he's co-writing the Atom Project.
Co-writing.
Yeah, co-writing.
Which issue 1 was fire. It was so freaking good. Yeah, that reminds me. Did Challengers of the Unknown come out last week, or were we able to talk? We talked about that one already, didn't we?
Yeah.
New Gods. We talked about New Gods, right?
I think that was those were all 2 weeks ago.
Gotcha. See, there you go. I'm not the only one. See, Bizzle's right there, not forgiving him for Black Panther. Yeah, so he also did the Absolute Power tie-in miniseries Origins, which was re-explaining Amanda Waller's motivations behind this entire endeavor, which he fumbled completely in the first issue. Like, it was the stupidest thing ever in that first issue. Issues 2, 3, and 4 were kind of just like a catch you up on the history of when Amanda Waller first popped up and has a bone to pick with people, getting her to present day. Which was like just a trip through history kind of thing. Let's take a brief moment in this one to look at this era with Amanda Waller, that era. Those were actually really good. Those were dope. Again, this guy is an overqualified quality writer, which is the biggest insult to some of the stuff he does. Like, dude, you have no excuse. You're amazing. So why are you doing this to these characters? Why? How do you have such a blind spot about some of these things that are fundamental for these comic books working? And it's not even like they fall apart. It's just offensive that he thinks this is okay. And it's offensive that editorial allows some of these things. I think he gets like a pass because he's such an acclaimed, he's literally like a celebrity writer.
He won an Oscar, I think, didn't he, for 12 Years a Slave, I think?
Yeah, the dude's like super qualified. It's crazy. But I'm hoping that Action Comics is only 3 issues, but he's going to get in here and he's going to do something with Superman that is absolutely counter to the character's core essence of existence right off the bat.
And he's co-writing the other one with a Power Rangers writer, Ryan Parrott.
Yeah, the Adam Project. That's why it's the Power Rangers that literally ran for they ran for 50 something issues and they rebooted it at number 1. They went back to it and ran for over 150 issues before Melissa Flores jumped on to finish out the run. He's a good writer too. But the Adam Project, the actual working title, and I didn't know this until I read it, is Justice League Unlimited.
Right.
The Adam Project.
Right.
What a really, really creative and great era for DC Comics. If you're reading DC Comics, continuity matters in this medium for Marvel and for DC specifically. This is a shared universe, just like the MCU is for a movie. So what happens in one book has to have happened in another book, whether you see it in the panels or not. That event took place, and their continuity is so strong right now, and we have no event in sight, but we're focusing everything around the brand new Justice League title, Justice League Unlimited. We have the Question, keeping up with what's going on over here, and now we have the Adam Project, keeping up with what's going on here.
And it was great because it was, they kind of got solicited as, okay, you know what, the Adams are going to be trying to, they're going to be dealing with all the powers that are out of whack with people and trying to get into the right place and everything. And little do we realize that in the first issue, it really is Captain Adam that we have to try to fix first.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way to look at it because the two Adams, Ray and Ryan, have no clue how to do this, but they know we need a test subject because this machine we have can nullify someone's powers, but we have to figure out how to get them into people. But we can't just blast people with these captured abilities. But there's one person we can.
Right.
And if we can get Officer Nathan over here to work, then we can go from there to figure it out. And he's a team player, all the way down to his origin, his DC Comics origin, that is. All the way down to his DC Comics origin. The guy's always been a team player for putting his own life at risk and taking a hit. That's how he got the abilities to begin with. I like how they kind of touched on his origin to remind people, alien spacecraft, government experiment. We want to test how stable it is. We want to drop a nuke on it, but we want to put a person in it just to really see if it can make it. They drop the nuke on it. It takes the hit, but then it melts and bonds with him, giving him these extraordinary abilities. By the end of the issue, we see that they have been able to reactivate Captain Adam. But it was a good issue. It was really good. The dynamic between Ray and Ryan was fantastic. Clearly two different characters. The way that they respond to events, the way that the personalities were, that was great. And Captain Adam he's especially reading Jenny Sparks right now. If you're reading Jenny Sparks, you're going to have a whole different experience reading this book, and you're going to be on edge when you have moments with Captain Adam. What Captain Adam are we about to get?
Exactly.
What mental state will this man be in? And it was really good. I enjoyed it an awful lot. Ooh, was Detective Comics last week? It was. I think it was. We got our next issue of Tom Taylor's Detective Comics. I ain't got much to say on this. Batman's fine. Nothing great. I think Chip Zdarsky's mailing it in at the end here. It's whatever. They revealed that KG Beast is really that vigilante.
Right.
Batman's after the Riddler. Riddler got played by the Court of Owls. They got a bunch of information. They're working with Russians, fascists, buzzwords.
Riddler hypnotized Commissioner Gordon with his glasses, and
Riddler took advantage of Mad Hatter. Riddler was taken advantage of by the Court of Owls. The Court of KG Beast is taking advantage of the population of Gotham. Insert modern society buzzwords into the story, and that summed it up. But Detective Comics, I was worried with Tom Taylor coming on. I love Tom Taylor's Maxi series. I love his Elseworld stuff. His ongoing stuff, I tend to fall off of. Nightwing, the John Kent House of what was it? Superman, Son of Kal-El,
right.
John Kent.
Titans.
I picked up all of that, but it really kind of went. But Titans I dropped on his run. But this is starting really strong with Batman. I think we're working to do a little bit of course correction with Bruce Wayne himself. The broke Bruce Wayne. He's old and he's not capable anymore. This whole story arc with them looking into the mysterious murders of these would-be Robin kind of characters, these orphans. All the while he's investigating this pharmaceutical company that has pretty much figured out how to stop aging, to revitalize the human body and kind of stop aging. So that corrects the old Batman thing. It's been corrected. Whether it sticks or not, well, is yet to be seen. But I mean, we cut this guy's hand off a year and a half ago, and it's back. So I think that Tom Taylor's doing a little bit of editorial course correcting for Bruce, which I think I'm really digging. But we got Damian in here. The artwork's great. The pacing is awesome. I think Detective Comics is going to continue to be like the most consistent, good Batman book. It's not always great, but it's never bad. And you have moments of, holy crap, that was a phenomenal issue. Like issue 2 with the whole Joe Chill thing.
Yeah, and it's pretty much, from, was it Marika Tamaki, I think, I did it? To Ram V.
The
Tom
Shadow
Taylor,
of the Bat
it's been pretty consistent for a couple of years now.
That Mariko was on the book in 2019.
Wow,
And before. This is it's like 5 solid years of Detective Comics. Because who was it before that? Was it TK before that? Was TK a lot longer ago?
TK wasn't on Detective. He was on Batman.
He was on Batman proper.
It was, I think it might have been...
Joshua Williamson?
I'm not sure. I was going to say James Tynan.
Tynan was on Batman proper too. Did he do a detective stint? I don't know.
Probably.
Whoever it was, since Mariko, Detective Comics has been been solid, super solid. But I highly recommend that. Oh, without the books right in front of me, it's hard to remember what all it was. But needless to say, Aquaman comes out this week. Jeremy Adams and John Tim's brand new ongoing title. Aquaman drops this week. I hope everybody goes out to pick up one. We got the preview pages for it in this week's books and everything, and it looks fantastic. Of course, the artwork's going to look great, but we got a couple extra preview pages online. I don't know if you saw those, where you get the reports. We get the opening of the book. You have a plane crashing, a plane coming down, calling Mayday, Mayday, rescue ships trying to get to the point of where the crash is about to be. Then Aquaman flying out of the ocean and landing on top of the plane and summoning his new abilities. Because of the absolute power events, he has a Mira's ability to manipulate water now. So he has Mira with him, like semi-coaching him, like focus this and that. And it was a wicked scene. He pretty much pulls up a giant wave to come up behind the plane and catch it, which I thought was super cool. I'm very excited for this series. Excited for the return of Aquaman. There's not a better writer to be on a book you're looking forward to than Jeremy Adams. He also has a brand new Green Lantern series. Is it a one-shot called Fractured Grid or Fractured Spectrum?
Fractured Spectrum, which was supposed to come out this week, but it has been delayed a week. It's going to lead into the Green Lantern Corps,
which will be ongoing.
I think it's only 6 issues, actually.
Either way, they're pumping out Green Lantern stuff left and right.
Yeah, there were a couple issues, like Action Comics is also delayed a week. There are only 5 DC Comics coming out this week.
That's okay. It's the first of the year. Everybody's got to recuperate.
Exactly.
But you got anything else you want to hit on? We'll hit this giveaway and get ready to roll.
I can't think of anything. Let's give away your comics. Since I'm giving away your money before, let's give away your comics.
Have they announced the show of the year yet?
They have not.
That's probably a ways from now, isn't it?
Yeah. Or if they did, I missed it.
If anyone's in the chat, and if you've seen it online, let us know. It's the last one that I care about, seeing if Penguin wins. House of Dragon get nominated for anything?
Not that I know of.
That's crazy. I guess all the people at the Golden Globes are mad about that finale too. So look, I picked this up. I know everyone loves these. This is going in next month's Legion Loot, just for funsies, I don't know when that Red Hulk one's coming out, but I saw that on the shelf. Like, man, I gotta grab that. Gotta get it. Frank Miller Sabretooth goodness. But anyways, this is what's in this month's Legion Loot. We have Big Time Collectibles, of course, sponsors the channel. They send some goodies my way to pass back out to everybody out there. And we've got, what is this? Jean Grey Fall of X #1. Beautiful variant. But got the Jean Grey going in there. The John Jang Ultimate Spider-Man going in there. this Wicked Deadpool #1 variant featuring Jeff the Land Shark. Because I know he's popping right now, right? Everyone loves their Jeff the Land Shark because that video game. Star Wars Yoda #2. And to celebrate the finale of Creature Commandos this week, we have issue 1, the Jim Lee variant. And I could not get 2 copies of this one to give away. Probably one of the coolest covers the week it came out. Terminator #3, the Full Metal Jacket homage. And then I picked these up along the way. This is Justice League Unlimited #2. What's that? Craig Osio.
Yep.
It's all the character profiles. Raised UV foil wraparound. That was a lot of words to say, and it's reflective in the price tag. New Gods #1 foil edition. So good. So good.
So you want a baby Darkseid.
Yeah, oh my God. Question issue #2, because they did the foil for issue #2 on that one. I think there's going to be other issues that have later foiled #1s. Action Comics 10-something. Final issue of the Phantom storyline. Wicked cool Supergirl on there. You know, that movie starts filming this month as well.
Yep.
And then we have Absolute Superman #1, the Noir edition, Virgin foil goodness. And then we have a Silver Surfer #44 featuring the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet in the CBCS 7.0.
It's kind of important in Marvel history. I
think so. And MCU history. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say this. Newsstand. You got to tell people that. They got to know. They got to know. But all that's going to one lucky winner. This is the monthly Legion Loot giveaway. You know, we do giveaways all the time. Paul does a giveaway every other Wednesday for Guess That Key. I do a giveaway every Tuesday for the new DC Day stream and all kinds of stuff here and there. This giveaway specifically is done once a month for the channel members in the Legion tier. So shout out to all the channel members that put all that into the channel. It comes right back into the channel. So let me screen share this, and then Paul will make somebody very happy and everyone else very sad.
If I had a dime for every time somebody said that to me.
Have a few dimes, huh?
There we go. All right.
That was slow.
Spinner.
Yeah, that was super slow to get there. You want no shuffling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's shuffle it a couple times.
Y'all heard him. He said spin it. You say spin it, Paul?
I did say spin it.
You sure?
Sure.
All right, tell me when to stop. Yeah. All right, I'm shuffling. Tell me when to
stop. I said stop.
That was a good stop. There we go. Yeah, I got it. Good luck to everybody. Remember, Paul is the one that was responsible for the shuffle. If you win, be sure to thank Paul. And if you lose, be sure to blame Paul. Good luck to everybody. And if you're not in it, remember next month is going to be the big Aquaman themed month for the Legion Loot giveaway. Be a first appearance of Ocean Master. Boom, Taylor Winder.
Nice.
Congrats to T-Dub.
He won something on the show last week.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, because we did
things that I gave away.
Yeah, we did the big New Year's giveaway. We had a lot of stuff. Yeah. So huge congrats to T-Dubs. What's going on, Matt? But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Be sure to tune back in next week. I'll show off the Legion Loot as we build it. Try to get better at that this year, show stuff off along the way. But the Primo book is Aquaman #29. The first appearance of Ocean Master will be given away, as well as the Aquaman 4-issue miniseries featuring the first appearance of his blue suit. Got a whole separate one of those to go in there as well. There'll definitely be cool Aquaman issue #1 from the brand new series going in there. You know what won't be in there, Paul?
What?
Turok #1. Keeping them.
That's right.
But I hope everyone has a great night. Paul, thanks for hopping on as always. Hope everyone has a great week. Be sure to check out the videos. Videos coming out on Paul's channel tomorrow, my channel tomorrow. Same old, same old. We definitely appreciate everybody. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark. He's Paul. We are Legion. You're now leaving Sector 2815.
Is that it? Is that all you got?